1, 2, there she is. Good afternoon, everybody. How are we doing? Good. Can everybody hear me okay? Wonderful. I am Denise with Community Impact, and I am your board chair for this year. Sorry, this is the first time you're seeing me, but I've been out for a little while. So I'm back. Thank you. All right, we're going to do our pledge. Everybody stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now our Texas pledge. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Yeah. Very nice, very nice. All right. We are now going to take a moment of silence for you to either pray or have a moment of gratitude. So we will do that now. All right. And we'd like to give a very big thank you to Shakers, who's our caterer today. Thank you so much. And we'd also like to thank Facilities Resources for letting us use their facilities. Thank you so much. All right, we now would like to welcome our elected officials. So I'm going to list them off here. David McDonald, Leander Place 3 City Council. Angela Williams, JP of Precinct 2, Williamson County. Michael Herrera, Leander City Council, Place 2. Becky Ross. Oh, there she is. And Mayor Christine Delisle for Leander. There she is. And then we have Leander Pro Tem Nicole Thompson. Where's she at? There she is. And then Miss Catherine Pantelian Parker, Leander City Council. There she is. All right. Thank you all so much for being here. And I'd also like to recognize the board. So if you are on the Leander Chamber board, please stand. Thank you so much. I know we've got a busy year we've been working on, so thank you for all of your hard work. All right. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you, Denise. Thank you. Okay, let's get to this. We've got lots of things coming up. I made a vow. I'm Bridget Brandt. I'm the president of Leander Chamber. I remember to introduce myself. Thank y'all for being here today. We really appreciate it. I love representing you and leading your chamber along with my incredible team. So thank y'all for being here. We have lots of fun things coming up and lots of good educational things coming up. I'll just give you a little glimpse at what is planned. Right now on April 8th, we have a business planning for sustainable growth workshop scheduled in our office if you are interested in that. We also have our Legacy Brunch, which I will talk about shortly, and our Mayor's Power Breakfast. Mayor's Power Breakfast has really just taken off in the last couple of months. Thank you to our mayor for that. But it is also because of all of you joining in. And so it is a great opportunity to connect with the mayor, but also with our fellow members. And so if you have not been to one of those lately, I would definitely try that again and see if it is a good opportunity for your business. And then we've got our monthly lunches. So again, in the spirit of our changes for this year, you're about to really start seeing how these lunches are going to be different going forward. And so in April, we have our health and wellness. So for health and wellness, it will be lunch, like our normal lunch, but it will also be a health and wellness expo. And we will be featuring some of our local health and wellness experts here to give you tips, techniques, things to help. So if you are interested in health or wellness, which you should all be, you definitely want to be there. And then even if you're not, we will still have cookies for you if you come. So whatever it is that gets you here to learn more, but we'll also be focusing on what that looks like for your employees and things that you can do in your companies. So that'll be great. On May 27th, we are doing Marketing Mavericks, same thing. We'll have all of our marketing experts coming together for a panel designed specifically around marketing your businesses and what that looks like really very hyper locally so that you can grow your business. And on June 24th, for those of you that know him because you have done leadership before, Greg Glover is going to be here leading us through team building. And not only will we get to do the team building activities because they are so fun with him, so we will get to participate, but he's also here to teach you how to do those with your teams so that you can, again, work on growing your teams, whether your team is one person or 400 people, working on what that looks like to help them become better. So lots of really fun and exciting lunch topics coming up and lunch themes. So if you haven't already gotten your tickets, please go ahead and go get those. So we do believe that these will start selling out. So we'll let you know so that if you're one of the people that likes to get the tickets at the door, you may want to start grabbing those just a little bit earlier. Legacy Brunch is coming up. It is a revamp of our gala completely. And so the chamber will not be holding its traditional chamber gala this year. Instead, we're going to be doing One Table Legacy Brunch. This year's speaker is Tom Glenn. It is a brunch designed around leaving a legacy for the community. And so it is designed to bring together the people that are building the community. It is a very small affair. There are only going to be 125 tickets sold. I think we have 18 tickets as of this morning. So if you would like to be there, this is a fundraiser for the chamber. It is a fundraiser for us operationally. In addition to that, it is your opportunity to connect with people that are building Leander, people that are connecting in Leander, and people that are trying to grow Leander and leave a legacy here. So it is going to be at the Gary House Park. I was talking to somebody about that earlier. It is absolutely beautiful and incredible. So I think you will really enjoy that. So get your tickets if you have not already. We already talked about the Power Breakfast. Of course, we've got all of our lunches coming up. And guess what? Today, officially, golf opens. So the 22nd Annual Golf Classic opens. It'll be Monday, May 19th at Crystal Falls. Thank you to all of these incredible sponsors that have already signed up to be a part of it. It is presented by Frost Bank, and it is 100% sells out every year. So if you're interested in being a part of that and you love to have a great day of golf, it is a fantastic day of golf combined with some really great networking, meeting, mingling, all of those things. So May 19th. Now it is time to welcome our new members. And before we do our new members, I am going to share, we have one member here today who is celebrating 10 years of membership. So if I can have all of the representatives from Northwest Austin KOA come front, we have a certificate for you. Congratulations. Let you get their photo. Jody. Can I get you? Yep. We're going to have our vice chair come and take a photo with y'all. Y'all are going to go to the front with Shannon, and she's going to grab a photo. Yep. Welcome. Yeah, we're giving y'all exercise. Think, it's just the precursor to the Health and Wellness Expo. Congratulations to all of you. I would also like to recognize this month's Membership Ambassador of the Month, Zakiya Mosley. Zakiya, congratulations. I knew this lady was going to do amazing things in this community, and look at you. I see you. Congrats. And for our Community Ambassador of the Month, Miss Marcia Back. And if I can have all of our, that's for Marcia. Congratulations, Marcia. If I can have all of our ambassadors, both community and membership, stand up to be recognized. Gosh, we appreciate you guys. We literally could not do it without you. So thank you so very much for all you do. And now our community ambassadors are gonna head out for photos. That's the ribbon cutting ones, so that you'll know. Y'all are gonna head out and do photos for all of our new members, and welcome new members. If you wanna walk right over here, we're gonna showcase you. Across, yep. You get to be the guinea pig, Taylor, so you're gonna come this way, and I'm gonna read it, and you're gonna smile and wave at everybody. This is Taylor. He is with JOL Healthcare. They service Austin and the surrounding areas with home health and hospice care. Taylor, you nailed it. Welcome, Brandon. This is Brandon. He is with AdPage Solutions. They do advertising here in Leander. So come and meet Brandon. Awesome. This is Ilya. Thank you for that. He is with Neo Sound Entertainment LLC. Ooh, fun. They do events, live music, production, you name it. Fun. Welcome. Awesome. Hi, Brian. This is Brian. He's with, they're about to be looking for you. He's with, it's already, again, I don't complain about the heat because I'm here for all of it, Texas, but he's with Blue Wave Heating and Air, and when my house is 120, I'll feel different. So, welcome. Thank you. Awesome. Oh, yay, this is Jeffrey. He's with the new Whataburger. Whoop, whoop. The one on Metro Road. Oh, he is with both. Yeah, so this is for Metro Road. Welcome. Whataburger has been a huge supporter of our chamber for lots of years, and we really appreciate it. So welcome, Jeffrey. Welcome, Emily. Y'all are going to need that. Welcome. Awesome. This is Kathy, and I want to be sure and say Enid, no, and Blythe. Blyle Engineering. I was gonna go that way, but I like to get it right. So Blyle Engineering, they are civil engineers here in Northwest Austin. Welcome, and thank you for doing the work you do, building Leander. This is Johnny Jones. They are Vasgor Managed Pest Solutions. They do commercial pest control right here. So welcome. Thank you, Johnny. And Johnny sits on our foundation board as well. So shout out to Johnny for double service here. This is Steve with Great Clips. If you need to get your hair done, Steve can make it happen. Whatever you want. Long hair, short hair, you name it. I think I am really funny. Welcome, Steve. Oh, he does Waxing the City too. That's too good. Y'all are really, they're right next door. Y'all are teeing me up for too much. I can't. No, I can't today. Welcome. That is hilarious to me. This is Christina Bell. She is with a nonprofit serving Williamson County area. I'm not sure what WCJCC and CTCC are. So can you tell me what they are?
Yes, the Williamson County Juvenile Justice Center and the Central Texas Treatment Center are two of the local prison facilities that we serve.
Perfect. And she is with Chain Breakers Prison and Family Outreach. Welcome, Christina. Awesome. This is Fran and Caitlin. They're with James Avery, our brand new location in Leander. So now, if you want to buy James Avery, of course you can go to any of the locations, but you can also buy it right here in Leander. The new locations at Bar W in Leander, they of course do retail, jewelry, and gifts. Welcome, James Avery. Thank you, guys. Awesome, and welcome. This is Marcella. She is with a STEM coding school, iCode, for kids here in Leander. So if you want your kids to be super smart, send them to see her, right? There you go. Welcome. Awesome, thank you. This is Sheila. Welcome, Sheila. Sheila is with PNC Bank of Leander. They are located right on Highway 183. They do banking. They provide you with business, personal, and consumer banking solutions. Welcome, Sheila. Thank you so much for being here. Sheila, Jody's going to grab that. Let's give a big round of applause to all of our new members. And, of course, to Shannon, our Director of Membership. Thank you so much. And Jody, our Vice Chair. Thank you, ladies. And now, without further ado, I think we are at our featured presentation. We love to host these opportunities for you to connect with our council people. We know politics can be, people kind of want to avoid it today, and I totally get that. However, it is critical that you be involved locally in every level of government, but particularly in your local level of government, because it does make a difference to where you live. And so it is critically important for you to understand. And so with that, we are very excited to welcome all of you. I know the sacrifice that it is for you and your families to run for this, and I always like to point it out, unpaid volunteer position that requires more hours than any volunteer position that I've ever known to exist on the planet. So thank you all for what you do. Thank you for putting yourself out there to run. And so let's welcome our candidates. In place one, we have Stephen Chang. Also running in place one, Natomi Blair. She is actually in Paris. In place three, we have David McDonald and Annette Sponseller. In place five, we have Andrew Naudine and Donnie Mahan. Welcome, everybody. Okay, so we are going to change this up a little bit based on your feedback. Of course, we've changed up a lot of things this year based on your feedback, but one of the things that you ask us to do when we do the council presentation for you each year is to ask the same question to the candidates so that you can actually compare and hear what the candidates have to say. And so we are going to be doing it just slightly different this year. These candidates have not received these questions ahead of time. So again, also a little different than in prior years. Each candidate, once they receive the question, they will get 2 minutes to answer. I will time you on my trusty iWatch. Are y'all ready? Is anybody nervous? No? Y'all ready? I like it. I'm actually a little nervous. And I really don't get nervous. So here we go. Our very first question. Chris, it's for you.
Steven.
Why does it say Chris on my notes? I don't know, Steven, and I've met you like 4 times. I know your name is Steven. I'm just reading the notes. Stephen, not Chris. You're getting extra time. I'm going to let each of you introduce yourself first before I do the question. How's that? That seems like a better idea since I just called you Chris. Stephen, are you ready?
Now I am.
Let's do it. Tell everybody who you are.
Hey folks, my name is Stephen Chang and I'm running for place 1. Like many of the residents of our city, I'm a first-generation American and Texan. I was born to parents from Hong Kong and Taiwan who immigrated here in the late 1970s to further their education and to seek a better life. And growing up, my parents instilled in me a sense of service to others and the need to not take our freedoms that we have as Americans for granted. And I'm running because Leander is a city that I'm proud to call home, and I want to give back to the city that's given me so much. As someone who's deeply invested in this community, I want to bring experience, fresh perspectives, practical solutions, and a collaborative spirit to City Council so we can help our city thrive, and that it's a great place to live, work, and play, raise a family, all while preserving its unique character. Small businesses are the lifeblood of our state and our nation's economy, and account for almost half of all private sector employment in the United States. So I just want to thank you all for all that you do. And I want to thank you all for your time today, and I look forward for the opportunity to participate in this forum. I also want to say really quick, my girlfriend has joined me here. She's also a small business owner, so I feel like this is very personal. She runs the Lakeline Farmers Market, the Hutto Farmers Market, and also the Farmers Market at the Domain.
Sorry, I can't turn on the mic because I can't see without my readers. Good afternoon, I'm David McDonald, currently serving Leander City Council Place 3. Had the pleasure of doing that for about almost 3 years now, and so we're up for re-election. I am a native Texan from Abilene, Texas, out in West Texas. Lived in Williamson County almost 28 years and been a Leander resident for 7. Thank you.
I think I got it. My name is Annette Sponseller. I'm also running for Leander City Council Place 3. I've been in Leander for 15 years. I've served on almost every single board and commission, including council, previously, and I want to continue that and create a better Leander for everyone. Thank you.
Is this on? Oh, good. Hi, my name is Andrew Naudine. I'm running for Leander City Council Place 5. I am also a native Texan. Born in El Paso, Texas. I lived my formative life in Houston, Cypress specifically, raised my kids out there. They flew the coop, and I moved to Central Texas. I've been here in the Leander area for the last 7 years, and I have been very intentional in the way I've addressed my neighborhood and my city as a whole. It's been something that I'm very proud of, and I'm looking forward to taking that participation and that intention to the next level. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you for the forum here, and I'll hand it over to you.
Thanks, Andrew. I'm Donnie Mahan. Not originally from Texas, small town in North Carolina of about 2,000 people. So, I know what it's like growing up with that small town charm. I've been in Leander for almost 9 years now. For 5.5 of that, I've been on the Planning and Zoning Commission. So I have a lot of experience with our development process. Served in many capacities, always looking for a call to serve, and just happy to get the chance to run and be a part of this wonderful city's growth. I have 3 kids, one a sophomore in college, a senior in high school, and a freshman in high school. So lots going on in my personal life as well. And but they're all excited for me as I am, and I appreciate your time today.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Okay, let's give them all a round of applause. It takes a lot to come up here and do this. Okay, are you ready? Now, to you, Stephen.
Now Chris is ready.
Now, Chris, Stephen, Chris. Now you're just messing with me, and now I am going to get it wrong. I know it. Now, although I'm here for that. Okay, are you ready?
I'm ready.
What are your plans to support local businesses and encourage economic growth in Leander?
Sure. When I speak with my neighbors, many of them are concerned about having amenities, places to shop, places to eat, places to enjoy with their friends and families. And as a Leander resident, I know this firsthand. It pains me that we have to bring our tax dollars to other cities. The irony is not lost on me where we are right now. Rather than having residents spend that money and keep it here in Leander for the benefit of our city. And so small businesses are a key part of our city's lifeblood. As a city, we have to balance the growth of residential while attracting new businesses and investment into our city. This helps to diversify our tax base, brings additional revenue, and helps to provide tax relief for homeowners. We also know that we need to preserve the historic nature and charm of our city through the development of the Old Town Master Plan, and to help preserve our history and foster small businesses. Some of the ways the city has done that is various grant programs. I think that we also need to take a hard look at incentive programs in the future to help small businesses to grow and to foster new businesses here in Leander.
Awesome, thank you. Now, we're gonna try to make this happen. So, while I'm trying to make this happen, Natomi is in Paris. We normally do not allow our candidates to video in. We are making an exception because she tried to move everything. She tried to do this, and this was scheduled well before our event. So she has not received these questions ahead of time, and she is maybe going to share her answer with us? Maybe. Thank you so much for being here with me all the way from Paris today. We really appreciate you joining us from far away to share your comments. So, your very first question is, what do you plan to contribute to economic development in Leander, Texas? How do you want to contribute to that?
Well, thank you so much for the question and for the opportunity to the Leander Chamber of Commerce. The way that I see growing economic development is for us to do it with smart planning. So I think that, if everyone looks around, they always talk about how there is tons of development that's happening in the area. It's popping up everywhere. There have even been some commentary of maybe we need to slow it down. But economic development helps shape the culture of what our city is. And so I think that it's really imperative for us to, one, have some prioritization that's based off of the needs of the city and the citizens of the city by making sure that we have some deep connections in terms of communicating across the board on what we want as citizens of Leander in that development space. And then I think secondly, it's about making the city of Leander not just attractive from the standpoint of all of the marketable reasons that a lot of businesses want to come, but also being an invited investment as well in that conversation with some of the businesses that have been considering us. That means having a very simplified and even more executable process by which people can partake of becoming a part of our economic growth as we scale out as a city. And then also just making sure that we are doing our part to support those plans as it, pertains or relates to our vision as a city. So I think those are the three key things that I look at in terms of economic growth and development. I feel like Leander is a very favorable place. And so we won't have a problem getting folks here. We just want to make sure that there's smart planning and execution around the efficiency in the process and ensuring the right people and the right businesses are aligning to our vision as a city.
Okay, our next question is going to go for you, David. It is, what are your priorities when it comes to budgeting and allocating city funds?
Great question, because the needs are so many in our city. I don't know how many of you actually live in our city, but we actually operate off the leanest staff of any other city in our area. And anyone that you see in uniform or that works for the city can actually tell you that as well. So we need to make sure that we're actually diversifying our tax base so we can actually increase our city services. When we compare, so I've been to places where we get compared to other cities, like let's say Cedar Park, where Kevin Harris and Mel and them serve. And I don't feel like those are accurate comparisons because the challenges we have are different than what they have. You look at their economic growth, it's much different than what we have. And what are some of the challenges that we have in Leander? Well, we lose half of our sales tax revenue to Cap Metro. So how do you overcome those things? And so we've been very proactive on City Council of preserving certain parts of our roadway, especially along Ronald Reagan Corridor, 183A and 183 Hero Way, Crystal Falls, making sure that we protect these areas so we can get businesses and corporations to come and fill those spots. And so with doing that, we're going to be able to get more funding for positions. We're going to make our city safe. I actually worked in Austin for 25 years as a police officer there. One of my funnest jobs was being a motorcycle cop. We have so much traffic here, so many school zones. I'd love to see a motorcycle unit within our police department. But we can only do that as we get more revenue into our city to fund these things. So back to your question, Bridget, we really have to be proactive in recruiting businesses here so we can actually increase and our tax base so we can actually facilitate these things that we actually need to do within our city. And a lot of that is with staffing within our city agencies. So hopefully that answered your question.
Thank you. Annette, same question for you. How would you prioritize city budgeting?
I would also be conservative with the budget like David, but I think everyone knows that we need to diversify our tax base in Leander and get more commercial in here. It's just how are we going to do that? But I think that we can also diversify by relying on some of our nonprofits in and around the area that can maybe help the community in filling that gap where funds are needed for city things, building those partnerships long-term. Economic development is huge. I would love to see a small business development lead who was in the development and planning department, and every small business owner could know that person. We need to start building trust and rapport with our small businesses again, and that would be one way that we could do it. They could have a dedicated person who knows the ins and outs of small businesses, who, if someone else is opening a small business, they're gonna say, hey, go talk to John over at the city. He knows all the things. He has all the resources for you. I just think something like that could really help our small business community and build that economic development that we need so much. Thank you.
Thank you both. Okay, our next question is for you, Andrew. What are your thoughts on the current contract with Cap Metro, and would you advocate for or against us remaining a partner city, and why?
So this is a real interesting question from the perspective of how people understand what's going on with Cap Metro. The citizens of Leander have voted multiple times to remain in the Cap Metro process. It's an investment. It's a long-term investment. And in order to facilitate that, the city needs to turn away from a process that I believe is not as engaging with Cap Metro as it could be. Cap Metro is a partner in that process, and we need to work with our partners to ensure that those processes achieve what was initially envisioned with that investment. So from that perspective, I'd say there's a lot of opportunities. We look at the station right now. There are opportunities to potentially add additional revenue-generating items within the station itself today. Perhaps we could partner with Cap Metro to put an EV station at the Leander station and share revenues from those particular cars being charged on a regular basis. We could add additional retail and functional areas for people to basically take advantage of the fact that they're sitting there waiting for a bus, maybe like a small coffee shop or things along those nature. Again, what we're doing is we're adding to the diversification of the aforementioned economic development in Leander. There are ways to do this, okay? And I think it's important that we continue to engage with Cap Metro and find what those avenues are. We need to be creative in the way that we manage that loss of tax revenue. And the fact is, we have 1% less than everybody else. But we do these things because they are difficult, not because they're easy. These are challenges, and we should rise to the occasion of those challenges and find creative and new ways to be able to do that. It's one of the reasons that I'm running is because I want to bring new ideas to the platform. These ideas that we have and what we've done in the past, it's simple. We've done the same thing over and over again, and maybe that's not working. So let's try something new.
Thank you. Donnie, same question for you. What are your thoughts on the current contract with Cap Metro, and would you advocate for or against it, us remaining a partner city, and why?
I love the complexity of the question, right? It seems kind of simple, but it's not. Cap Metro is more than a train. It's more than a bus going to downtown, right? We need to think about public transportation in Leander. Right now, we don't have any. Right, we have a little bus that goes around within a 6.5 mile radius, and we have the train going to Austin. That does not service the citizens of Leander to come out to the businesses and the other amenities that we have within Leander. So what can we do? Well, every year, Planning and Zoning gets the opportunity to present to the city manager things that they would like to bring up. Every year since I've been on Planning and Zoning, you guys can go back and see the videos on it, I have suggested that Leander form a partnership with Cap Metro outside of the current contract of where we build bus stations within every half mile to mile of every resident within Leander. And then Cap Metro provides the buses in regular bus service to service that intra transportation so that it reaches to our regional transportation, which is the train station. But back to your question, the Cap Metro agreement that we have now is a handcuff on us, right? We do not get the value out of what we're putting in, because all we have is a train, right? All we have is a bus, right? So what I look for is better deals, better partnership with Cap Metro, which Councilmember Ross has been working on the Cap Metro board, so I appreciate her efforts in doing that and getting some of the money back. But I think there's more that can be done and more that we need to have happen so that we have true public transportation within Leander.
Thank you. Okay, we're going to go to our next video. Question for today is, with Leander's incredible growth, how do you plan to address traffic and infrastructure growth challenges that we're seeing today?
Yeah, thank you so much for the question. So as you know, we all can see the growth in Leander, Texas right now is astronomical. I think we're growing about 8% year over year in terms of population. We have all of the right ingredients to connect people to the city. But with that being said, you do require the right and the appropriate infrastructure put in place to ensure that people can actually transport the way they want to. And also things such as, you know, my family, we came to Leander because we love open spaces, we love walkable spaces, that there are things that are amenable to the citizens' needs and the reasons or justification for them moving to Leander. So I think that it's really critical that we look at our infrastructure issues as a great concern. I've seen, you know, in the past that, you know, we've tackled looking at these different places and spaces based off of just what has been previously done. So I believe that the city departments, such as city manager and his staff, have been done a yeoman's work to ensure that, hey, we're moving along with the plans that have been instituted many years ago. I'm speaking specifically about, you know, the San Gabriel transport area and, you know, 2018 for us, you know, looking at leveraging those fundings. But I think the real key is, one, we need to have a reassessment. This requires community engagement and collaboration with the city of Leander, as well as our business sector, and seeing where can we make future investments that actually scale with the growth of the city. I think we could do a better job of doing that, as well as looking at where financially we can afford this. You know, we're in a crux of a position where we need some financial resources from a taxing perspective to support this. Doesn't necessarily mean leveraging more taxes, but looking at what we could get in terms of grant funding from like tax stock, for example, to help us with the infrastructural growth. And so I think those two key things are really important and would help us put up the right trajectory in terms of our infrastructural changes.
Thank you, Stephen. Same question for you. I'll repeat it so you have it. With Leander's rapid growth, how do you plan to address traffic congestion and road infrastructure improvements?
Thanks for the question. I think we can all agree that Leander is one of the fastest growing cities in our state and our nation. And I want to put this into perspective. Let's consider that in 2010, we had 25,000 people in this city. That's a decade and a half ago. Today, we have 100,000 people. That's an increase of nearly 300%. And we're expected to hit 140,000 by 2040. That means we need to continue to prioritize infrastructure, and that includes our water, our roads, and other critical infrastructures that we're prepared to meet residents' growing needs, and that we also have the resources that businesses will need to operate and thrive here in Leander. When it comes to roads, this is a huge concern. I was recently with Councilman McDonald at elementary school explaining the San Gabriel Phase 2 expansion project. We know that we need more infrastructure funding, and these issues are tied to attracting growth here and having additional revenues to build out infrastructure. Another thing that's going to be key is our partnerships with our state, local, and federal partners. And so I've spent the last decade working in state and federal government, and I think we need to expand those relationships with our partners at TxDOT, our legislators at the Capitol, and also our federal partners at USDOT in order to see where we can appropriate more funding to address our roads. Thank you.
Thank you. Next question is for you, Annette. How will you improve communication between the city government and residents to ensure transparency and engagement?
Well, first, I would like to say that I think over the past 5 years or so, it's gotten a lot better. I think that there's a lot more engagement. I know that the Leander Water Fair, I've seen that like posted everywhere, information about that. So I think that they're getting better at communicating times that citizens can participate. with different surveys that they've had and meetings that they've had about different projects that we have going on. I really think, though, that having a town hall where people can come and discuss whatever's on their mind would be a really important way for council members to listen to their constituents in an informal manner.
Thank you. David, same question for you. How will you improve communication between the city government and residents to ensure transparency and engagement?
So great question, and I appreciate that. So I feel like we do a much better job than what we did in the past, as Annette said. And things that we've been doing and continue to do is making sure that we're using all avenues of media that we can use to get the word out. And we want to get in front of items. I hate playing catch up. Let me give you an example. We had the Raider Way, Woodview construction going on for most of the school year. Thank goodness it's open. But we knew that was going to be a nightmare right before school started. So I actually got with our city manager. I said, let's get ahead of this because we're already getting emails from folks. Let's get ahead of this and share with what our plan is. We got the school board, the school involved, both principals from the schools over there, Rouse and I believe it's Wiley. Also, you got the toll road. CTRMA, they're a player in this because all traffic was going to be diverted onto their toll road. And so we actually held a forum over there at Rouse High School to give parents information about how things are going to work and taking a proactive approach in that. So a lot of times it's just getting ahead of these things, being very proactive and getting people's input as well. And so we're doing those things. I continue to push for those things. Trying to think. We also have a great communications division with Ty and Maureen, and they're very good as well. And again, city staff is just very proactive and get these things out because, you know, we have our own issues, right? We've had to go to stage 4 watering before. And so getting that message out early so whenever it gets time, we're able to stay within our capacity what we can actually provide to our residents. So forward thinking and having forums and just getting ahead of these things as things come up, we need to put word out. Hey, we want to have this forum, hear from you, and get input, and then also communicate that message out when it's final. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you. This question is for you, Donnie. With Leander's rapid growth, how do you plan to address water infrastructure challenges, including capacity, conservation, and long-term sustainability?
Thank you, Bridget. I think with the deep water intake, we're about to increase capacity by quite a bit that'll allow us to plan at least for the midterm. And long term, I've always believed we need to look for a secondary water source because everyone's trying to drink out of the same cup in Lake Travis, and if you've gone by Lake Travis lately, it's pretty low, as it has been over the last 9 years that I've been a part of Leander or the community. I also think that we need to increase our participation in different water conservation programs like purple piping, and various other things as we get new developments coming in. The great thing is with the deep water intake coming out, we're at the point now where City Council, with their water resolution a few years ago, are starting to see that there's a long tail. Well, they already know. Sorry, that there's a long tail to development. So we're going to start to see a lot of new developments coming into place because they're keen on bringing in more development and more revenue, so that we can build some of these other infrastructure needs that we've been talked about today, so that we can get some more city staff. We talked about city staff and services being very lean, and all of that is predicated on having the water capacity to be able to support that development and growth. We're there, and so we're going to start seeing that now, which is why I think that my time on planning and zoning is going to help me out tremendously in the role in City Council as I understand the development process and what it takes to keep things moving.
Awesome, thank you. Andrew, same question for you. With Leander's rapid growth, how do you plan to address water infrastructure challenges, including capacity, conservation, and long-term sustainability?
Well, I think the latter of that is the most important part, is the long-term sustainability and being able to conserve our resources as we continue to grow. This is not a Leander-specific issue. This is a Central Texas issue. I think that there are opportunities there to partner with our regional and state leadership to ensure that they're doing the things that will assist us to be able to answer those questions. The intake that we've done, I mean, I think it was obviously something we needed to do, and I think that we've secured our water stability for a period of time. But let's be honest about this. At the end of the day, all you need to do is go look at Lake Travis, and you know that there's not enough water. And if we continue to develop in the way that we're developing, then we're going to have a problem. So let's get ahead of that. There are conservation mechanisms that we can use. We can change some of the ordinances we have around how the way homes are built. And all of this comes at the same time that we have an increasingly dangerous fire hazard in Central Texas. I don't need to talk to this too much. This topography out here in Central Texas is very, very similar to what you see in these areas that are burning now, right? And if we are not securing those two issues at the same time, we're gonna run into problems. So while we address water, we also need to be able to address how our areas are being developed, how they are structured from a fire prevention perspective. We need to review ordinances to ensure that we're not doing anything that would keep people from making the changes to be able to protect their own homes from that perspective. And we need to ensure that our fire department is properly funded, properly staffed, and has the equipment that they need to be able to do that. And I saw something in Community Impact just this week where the city has engaged to get some drones. And I think that's a fantastic idea, but we need to pursue those ideas with intent and intensity. We need to make them happen now, not later.
Awesome. Thank y'all so much. Okay, we're going to go for our final question, back to our final video. For today is, what issue is most important to you that I didn't ask, and how do you want to address that issue?
Well, thank you for this final question. There have been a lot of things that I've spoken about in previous questions that relate to kind of my core three tenets and why I'm running for office. I think the biggest one is community strategic engagement. And what that looks like is communication between the citizens' want, needs, and priorities and the alignment of the city of Leander to those priorities. You know, we're scaling at a very quick pace as a city, which is valuable and beneficial. But I think that, you know, there needs to be some real conversations that need to happen between, you know, our previous state, the folks that have been in Leander for many, many years, if not decades, before we were this booming city, and the folks that are currently there and have recently come to grow and love the city of Leander because of what it brings to their family and their community. And then the future folks that we're trying to invite. I think those conversations definitely need to happen to make sure that we're on the right path a long way. And I'm speaking or looking towards ideas such as having a community engagement committee that would be on an advisory basis for the city of Leander. That would make sure that we have our pulse to the ground in terms of what the citizens are hearing, making sure that we're getting key information that we're doing as the city of Leander out to everyone so that we are carrying the same vision, but most importantly, making sure that we're prioritizing what the citizens need. We don't want to lose the essence and the beauty of what makes our city great and why we all come to love the city of Leander in the stake of just growth. We want to be able to leverage the agility of that in the path that we chart forward. So I think that is really key. And there are ways for us to cultivate that within a committee at the city of Leander and engage different folks such as the chamber and different aligned folks that have the same values and vision for the future of our city.
Perfect. Thank you so much for joining us all the way from Paris today. We really appreciate it and hope you enjoy the rest of your trip.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the time and the opportunity.
Okay, Stephen, are you ready? Same question to you. What current issue, right here in Leander, Texas, what issue is the most, I am funny.
You're making me laugh now.
That's my goal. Are you ready for it? What current issue is the most important to you that I didn't ask, and how will you address it?
Well, thank you for your earlier questions on infrastructure and economic development. I think the third part of the three-legged stool is really public safety. And I want to thank our police and our fire chief and members for being out here. We know that as this city continues to grow, we're going to have an increase in the influx of residents. And what does that bring? With an influx of residents, we're going to see increased demand on emergency services. That includes police, fire, and EMS. And we've got to prioritize adequately funding our police, fire, and EMS. These folks put their lives on the line every single day for us, and we need to be making sure that we adequately fund them, that they have the tools and resources that they need. This is one of those issues where if it's not addressed now, it will be an issue in the future, and protecting the public safety of Leander residents is a top concern. That's why I'm proud to have been endorsed by the Leander Law Enforcement and Firefighter Associations, and I will continue to support them if I'm elected as city councilman.
Awesome, thank you. Same question for you?
Can you repeat the question?
Absolutely. Are you ready for it?
Yes.
I'm going to change it now just to mess with you. No, I'm not. What current issue is the most important to you that I didn't ask, and how will you address it?
Great question. So actually, whenever I came into office 3 years ago and just living here, Leander becoming a bedroom community has been my greatest fear. Now, we've been working diligently to make sure that that does not happen. We have a lot of great things coming here. Estancia Steakhouse is coming. Really excited about that one. Some other businesses, but we're still lacking some things. We have one hotel in our city. People really can't come visit us. So just being more aggressive to pursue opportunities like that. And we have a great economic development group within our city. But, we need more hotels. We need more diverse tax base. We need, a major employer. We have Titan that's going to be building off of Hero Way, but we're still lacking that major employer. So having to fund all our city services by homeowners really scares me. So that's what we're really working towards, and I want us to continue on that focus. I know we're very united as a council right now to stay on that path. And then public safety. Again, we are short-staffed in every city department. But when it comes to public safety, does anyone want to live in a community that is not safe? I don't think so. Do you want to open a business in a community that is not safe? So being able to find ways to fund and create new positions, stay competitive with our surrounding cities, because we actually have people that will leave here to go to other places because they pay more. And we need to be able to retain those people. We train them. We want them to stay here. They live here, and they have families here. So how do we do these things? And it's just diversifying that tax base with all the things that we talked about today. And so those are my two greatest fears. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you. Net, same question. What current issue is the most important to you that I didn't ask today, and how will you address it?
I really think the biggest issue is balancing all of the issues. There's so many. We could talk about transportation for a whole hour, water for a whole hour, public safety for a whole hour. All are important, economic development for a whole hour. But it's how do we balance those with the budget that we have to prioritize the things that we need, but also prioritize all of what our residents' needs are. I believe that Leander needs leadership that will respect the office, that will honor its responsibilities, and will treat all of its residents with integrity. And that is number one for me.
Thank you, Annette. Same question is going to go for you, Andrew. What current issue is most important to you that I did not address, and how will you address it?
Again, here I would agree with Annette in the sense that I think we've covered the big ones. It's an interesting panel, and it's an interesting process of being able to hear the ideas that each individual candidate for these leadership positions in the state of Leander. I'm struck by how similar most of these ideas are. And I think that's going to be a decision that the voters are going to have to make at the end of the day, is who's addressing those issues most correctly and most definitively, and who has the intent to try to solve them, right? So we can talk about the problems that we have all day long. What are the solutions? So I think that's something that we need to talk about. And when we talk about these things, we need to be honest with ourselves. We've done a lot of things the very same way for a long time. That may not be the right way to do things. So we need to start looking at ways that we can actually change the approach to some of these very, very complicated issues. If you were to look at the budget in Leander, you would say that there are no opportunities to be able to find additional revenues. I would disagree. I think that if you looked at capital improvement projects, you could benefit from a stricter prioritization of project management. This would avoid cost overruns and things of that nature. The other thing that we can take a look at is how we're currently allocating our public spending. There's a lot of issues there because of the fact that we had to spend this time to make up for lost time on water. But now that that issue is starting to resolve itself, we need to turn to the basic structure of how we're funding our public services. That's police, that's fire, that's how we're going to ensure that they have the proper equipment, that's how we're going to ensure that they're getting fair pay, that they have the type of opportunities here in Leander so that they can retire in the city that they've served for as long as they have. So that's the one thing that I would say we haven't talked too much about, but that's the one thing I would say we missed. So again, I appreciate your time.
Thank you, Andrew. And Donnie, final question, same question for you. What current issue is the most important to you that I did not address, and how will you address it?
Well, the great thing about being last and the worst thing about being last is that a lot of things have already been said. But the issue that's facing anyone who's watching this, if we do have a video or all of you out there, is why me? Why should you support me? The simple answer is 32 years. I spent 32 years working to this moment. From working in a factory, to owning a small business, to enlisting in the Army, to being a first-generation college grad, to being an officer in the Army, to leading a $500 million project working with Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services, to leading a large global team as I do today at Visa, right? That's why me. I have a diverse background, a diverse set of experiences, a history of service, not just to my community, but to my nation, and a heart to serve everyone around me. That's all I've ever wanted to do. I just love helping people. That's why I'm in HR today. I love to help people, right? That's why me.
Thank you. Let's give everybody a big round of applause. You're not quite done yet because, well, it's Leander and I want to mess with you. So, no, just stay here for 1 second. Y'all are going to be a part of our activity momentarily. We're going to do door prizes really quickly. So if you are presenting a door prize, are y'all so excited to see what I'm going to make them do? I know. I see a bunch of looks. I promise it won't be that bad. Okay, door prizes. So if you are one of our giving a door prize today, if you will come up, perfect. Cecilia, tell us what it is, and then I'll draw a name.
This is a spring flower arrangement. It's a designer's choice. I just picked something that I wanted to put together, and this is what I did this time.
Okay, these gorgeous flowers are going to go to Chris. No.
All right, don't hold this against me.
Nope. Oh, perfect. Go ahead.
Claire Somerville from Austin, Telco.
Congrats, Claire. Maria, tell us what they got. Sorry. Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Maria Gorman. I do wine tastings. I represent a private winery. If you guys were here last luncheon, I had a dry wine. This time I have a sweet wine. And this is a blend, and it's very, very sweet. So if you don't like it, let me know.
Congrats. Carrie Hamilton. Is she still here? Yay, Carrie.
Hello, my name is Monica, and I own Impact Family Wellness, and I actually drank that bottle of dry white, and it was delicious, so thank you. So I own Impact Family Wellness, where we make healthcare not suck, so it doesn't have to suck. And I have brought 4 club-level tickets to a Texas Stars game with free popcorn and soda. And the lucky winner is...
Let's see if you're still here. From Texel, David LeBay. Is he here? He's gone. Hey, sorry, you got to be here.
Hold on. And the next winner is... Yeah, by the way, I have a ribbon cutting on Thursday, as long as it doesn't rain. I have to talk to you about that. It's all outdoors, so we might have to reschedule it. So maybe Thursday, but maybe later. So stay tuned.
Okay. Taylor King from JOL Healthcare. Oh, Taylor's right here. New member. Congrats. And
hi, I'm Esmeralda Gonzalez. I'm a portrait photographer, and I had no idea I had to present. But I give it a gift. So I'm offering a family portrait session, and the winner is...
Ruby.
Yay, Ruby, congratulations.
Excellent. We have a complimentary event at Spare Time, Texas. 75 minutes of axe throwing for 6 guests. Fun. By the way, I took the girls to do this one year, and it is so fun. Laura Balla. Congrats. I don't know where they all went. I'll let y'all help me with that. And also, we have... Congrats, Laura. We also have from Gumbo Fridays 6 free professional Google My Business photos. Oh, fun. Well, that's valuable. Are y'all ready? The winner is from South Star Bank, Shirley Sears. Are you still here, Shirley? She just walked out. I'm picking again. Of course. And Rosemary Wallace from Lone Star Local. Congrats, Rosemary. Now, we are going to do 2, and we are still going to be in time. I promise. I promise. Are you ready? Lulu, come to the front and tell us what's going on. Lulu is our nonprofit sponsor for the day. Yeah, come on up. Come up here, Chica. Tell us what you got going on.
How exciting. I didn't know I get to do this part. Okay, hi, I'm Lulu. I am founder of Sam's Adventure Camp. We're an intense therapy program for kids with developmental disabilities. And the whole reason for me to be here is for you to listen to Bridget, buy tickets, but also buy tickets to our bash. So we have our annual spring fundraiser. It's where I raise money for our scholarship funds for our families to be able to come to our program. And if you know life right now, everything's expensive. Our families really need us this year. We try to give 87 to 92% of our family scholarships, and so I need to go raise that money. And as Monica says, it's the best non-gala gala. Barbecue, live music, you can bring your kids. It's gonna be amazing, it's gonna be fun. Early bird tickets on sale through the end of the month. If you have any questions, ask me. Thanks.
Perfect. Awesome. When is it?
April 12th, Saturday, April 12th.
And then, perfect, thank you. She's right outside. She's got a booth, and you might get the chance to meet Sam if you're there.
My Sam will be there, and if you haven't met Sam, you have not been blessed. You've got to meet Mr. Sam, the man.
Agreed. Thank you, Lulu. Okay, now, here's what we're going to do. All of you are going to stand up, and if you'll just spread out along at the bottom. So, and all of you are also going to stand up. And so we're going to do a little version. Go ahead down carefully and then just kind of spread out. We're going to do a little version of Meet Someone You Don't Know. If you are a current city council member, I see we still have a few of you here too. Catherine, raise your hand in the back. Becky, Michael, are you still? Michael's here. Any other current council members? Mayor's here. I think Nicole had to leave. Okay. What we want you to do is not just meet someone you don't know today. Today we want you to meet someone running for office or someone currently in office. So thank you all very much for being here today. Go and meet someone new.